Hey, so what's up, y'all? This is Styles Make Fights TV. You know, I'm your boy Lucian. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Boots Ennis situation. So I know everybody saw on the internet that Boots is over there sparring with Canelo, and I used to be a really big Boots fan, but I'm not so much of a Boots fan anymore, and it has nothing to do with Crawford. It actually has something to do with Brian Norman and Brian Norman Sr. I know alpha males when I see them, when I hear them. You know what I mean? Them dudes is about that action. There's no way they coming to Philly to spar. They going to other people's backyards to fight, and they scared of Boots. You know what I mean? And then you got to look at the things that they pointed out, like when Boots fought, he fought that guy that he brought up from 140, Limpinets. He hit this man with 1,000 punches before he dropped him. And I said to myself, man, if Terrence Crawford was fighting this dude, that's the thing about Bud. Bud gonna time you in between the shots, and he gonna hit you with something that you don't see and put you out. There is not finna be him hitting you with all these massive thousands of shots. You ain't never seen no Terrence Crawford fight like that. And you ain't never seen no Brian Norman fight like that. You know what I mean? Like, sparring is sparring, and then y'all sparring with 16-ounce gloves on. Even if you was styling on them and sparring, the man want to fight you. You know what I mean? You took off to 154. I don't respect that. And I predicted it. I said the week of, it's in somebody comment somewhere. I said the week of Brian Norman fight, they go announce they moving up. You know what I mean? I think it's your fault, Boots, because you let Eddie Hearn control your career. You know what I mean? Instead of you peeking over his shoulder saying, what we doing? Okay, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. Like, you just sit back and just let them just guide your career. That's why you missed out on the Terrence Crawford fight. Espinoza said, what's in it for us? Ain't nothing in it for y'all. Y'all going out of business anyway. But it's something in it for your fighter, the fighter you claim you care about. You know what was in it for Boots? He would have gotten to fight a real champion, not and earn his belt, not an intern. He would have been able to fight the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world, and he would have got the biggest payday in his life, because at that time, when that fight happened on BLK Prime with Terrence Crawford and Avanesian, Boots had never even made over, I believe it was 350,000, but let's say 500,000. He had never made over 500,000. He was gonna make well over $1 million to fight Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? So they should have gave you their blessing to let you go to BLK Prime to fight Terrence Crawford. But instead, what's in it for us? Oh, if Terrence wants to fight Boots, he can come over here and, we can talk. Why would he do that when ain't nothing gonna get done? You know what I mean? So you only get one chance to fight a generational talent. Same thing goes for, what's his name? Fundora. Oh, I would like to fight Terrence Crawford. He's the best fighter, this, that, and the other. But then you say you want to fight Errol Spence. Where's your dog at? You want to fight Errol Spence coming off a loss? But you only get one chance to fight a generational talent. You already know Terrence Crawford is 37 years old. There's no way you thought that you was going to turn down a fight with Terrence Crawford and then get to fight him somewhere down the line. You just wanted a way to duck without getting looked at like a duck. You're a duck. You know what I mean? And Boots, you know what I mean? I used to be besides Crawford, I was your biggest supporter. You know what I mean? But I didn't like how you wouldn't even let the people separate you from Crawford. Like, they would ask you about Crawford, and I remember an interview, you and your dad was like, well, we nothing like Crawford. I mean, we switch it, but Crawford been switch hitting since what? He's 14, 15? Boots been switch hitting his whole life. Yeah, but what you doing with your switch hitting? Yeah, you switch. And you can switch effortlessly, and you can fight on both sides. But when Crawford switch, he taking something away, or he gaining something. He probably about to put you out. You know what I mean? When he switch, it's immediate results. When you switch, it's just switching. You know what I mean? So if you a natural switch hitter and he been switch hitting since he was 14, 15, to me, he more of a natural than you are because he's better than you at it. You know what I mean? Now, you know, fast forward to you sparring Canelo. I'm cool with you sparring Canelo. But just like everybody else said, if you was getting ready for if you was getting ready for Virgil Ortiz and you needed Canelo or somebody of stature from the Mexican community to come over and help you get ready for Virgil, they would tell you no, they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? That's the reason why they drive so much money in the sport anyway, is because my Mexican friends, when they go to their family house, like I said before, and it's 20 of their family members over there, and they watching the Canelo fight, who you think they rooting for? They rooting for Canelo. That drives in revenue. You know what I mean? It don't matter who Canelo go against. They rooting for Canelo. You know what I mean? Now, if you they favorite fighter and you going against somebody else, yeah, they'll root for you, but they not finna go sit at their family house, get a bunch of beer, food, get wasted. What you got to understand is when you are chosen by the Mexican people, it's a nostalgicness to it. Even if somebody didn't like Canelo, they used to going to their family house. It's so many good memories probably tied to watching a Canelo fight. You know what I mean? But Canelo don't even care about y'all. You know, he won't even fight who y'all want him to fight. Y'all want him to fight David Benavidez. He fighting Terrence Crawford because he think it's a slight chance he could beat Terrence Crawford. He don't really believe he could beat Terrence Crawford, but it's a slight chance. But he don't even believe he could beat David Benavidez. He's never going to fight David Benavidez. He's never going to give, he says he fight for his people, but he won't give his people what they want. You know, so, you know, and about you sparring him, you can't, the only thing you could give him is a look. You know, okay, you 2 inches taller than Terrence Crawford. Y'all got the same identical reach. So you can get him the look of switching, and you can get him the feel of the reach, how much distance he got to cover. But as far as like Terrence Crawford rhythm, his combinations, the way he move in the ring, y'all are nothing alike. So I'm cool with it. I hope it give Canelo a false sense of confidence. You know what I mean? A sense of calmness. You know what I mean? Because when he get in the ring with Bud, just like Bud told Blue Blood when he asked Crawford about fighting you, he ain't never seen nothing like me before. He ain't never been in the ring with nothing like me before. That's how he think. That's his mentality. And come September 13th, I don't care how many slick fighters Canelo been in the ring with. He ain't never been in the ring with nobody like Bud. How many switch hitters he fought? How many boxers actively fighting have knockout power in both hands? And y'all claim the fame is, oh, Canelo's got the iron chin. Yeah, he do got an iron chin, but he don't get hit with punches that he don't see. I've been saying this for the last 2-3 years, you know, and now it's so crazy because the things that I be saying, Crawford or somebody from his camp will actually come out and say it. Like, y'all just can't read between the lines. He had an interview not too long ago. He said, every time I tried to knock somebody out or hit somebody hard as hit, I either missed or they saw it coming and they braced for it. You know what I mean? The ones that get you is the ones that flow. The ones that you just go with technique. You know what I mean? Canelo hits very hard, but he be trying to hit hard. How many times have you seen him just hit somebody hard just by going with technique? None. Straight up. You saw when Crawford knocked Avanesian out, it don't matter who you knock out. You know why? Because y'all say, oh, well, this person ain't nobody. Okay, well, you fight that nobody person. You fight Kell Brook since he damaged, and I want to see you knock him out with a jab. I want to see you hit him with a jab he don't see, time him between his punches, and hit him with a jab he don't see and put him on easy street and finish him. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. So, you know, I'm cool with Boots I'm cool with Boots sparring Canelo. I hope it gives Canelo a lot of confidence, a lot of swag. I really do. Because, like I told y'all before, and I'm going to upload my prediction video as well, Crawford is, if Canelo want to go to decision, he better accept defeat like he did against Bivol. He knew he wasn't going to win after like the 7th, 8th round. He was just coasting, you know, trying not to get knocked out and, you know, let me get out of here and I'm going to fight another day, come back stronger. If he got that mindset before the 7th round, 8th round, then the fight will go to decision. But all y'all saying that, oh, Terrence Crawford could only win by decision, the reason why I guarantee the knockout in the Spence fight that y'all see on my page is because I knew that Spence was too tough for his own good. And he confirmed it at the press conference when Crawford told him if he get out of line, he gonna be the next one down. See, getting out of line means making Crawford feel small, walking him down like he a little kid, doing the same combinations you do in all your fights, not treating him like he's special. That's getting out of line. That's disrespectful. You got to fight Terrence Crawford like the generational talent that he is. If you do that, you can go to decision. But if you get out of line, and I plan on Canelo getting out of line, because he ain't going to have no excuse when he lose this time. You're younger. You've been more active. You got Boots as a sparring partner giving you the looks. I mean, so many different ingredients you got, you know, a recipe to win. So when you lose, I don't want to hear nothing. And guess what? If he walking Terrence Crawford down after the 7th, 8th round, I guarantee you he gonna get knocked out. I guarantee you he gonna get knocked out. And he gonna get hit with something he don't see. And y'all gonna be like, well, how did he knock him out and Triple G couldn't knock him out? And it's so crazy because all these boxing people and, you know, all these specialists, they all glaze over this. None of them talk about, well, man, I never thought about getting hit with the shots he don't see. Terrence Crawford is you can't even fight Terrence Crawford without getting hit with shots you don't see unless you don't open up, which is what happened in the Madrimov fight. Madrimov wasn't no difficult fight. He just didn't open up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got off with some right hands. You know what I'm saying? He didn't throw no combinations, and that's why he lost. But hey, he opened up. Hey, he opened up like he was fighting Virgil Ortiz. That knockout streak could still be going. So y'all go ahead and think, oh, he had a tough fight and this, that, and the other. I guarantee you the math ain't gonna add up when he knocked Canelo out, because Canelo gonna get disrespectful. He gonna be looking for that knockout after the 7th, 8th round, you know, walking Crawford down, and he gonna walk right into something. Mark my words. So yeah, I'm cool with Boots sparring Canelo. And like I said, me not being a fan of Boots ain't got nothing to do. It's for the same reason that I'm not a fan of Gervonta. I think I liked Gervonta when he first came out, you know, but once I realized, okay, you built your career fighting flat-footed Latin fighters. Okay, that's cool. When are you gonna get in there with somebody who we think can whoop your ass? You know what I mean? Because if you're not doing that, you're not selling me that shit. You can sell everybody else that. Everybody else can buy that. You know what I mean? I'm not no Tank hater, none of that. I just, okay, I like the product. Now I want to see the product against the competition. I don't want to see the product in a market by itself. No, I want to see the product against everybody else. So, and I told my boy, I say he gonna retire without fighting a real 50-50 fight. You know, PBC, they like fights that are 50-50 on paper, but they really know that they guys gonna win. You know what I mean? They don't like real 50-50 fights. And the same thing goes for Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is still building Jerron. He got y'all thinking Jerron the boogeyman again. You know what I mean? So that's great promotion. You know what I mean? But in all actuality, you know what I mean, it's people out there that will fight him. You know what I mean? And he definitely don't want no parts of Brian Norman, because if Brian Norman made him respect his power with them 16-ounce gloves on, what you think gonna happen in them 8 ounces? In them 10 ounces? You know what I mean? So, yeah, but other than that, like I say, I'm cool with it. I swear on the stack of Bibles, I'm cool with him sparring Canelo. The only problem I got with it is the same problem everybody else got with it. if the shoe was on the other foot, would they help you? And we all know the answer to that question. No, they wouldn't. So, you know, that's my time. I'm signing off. You know, I just wanted to, you know what I mean? I just wanted to get my 2 cents in and let y'all know what I think about the situation. But, you know, Crawford gonna take this September 13th, and it's not gonna be a close fight. Just remember, I told y'all, don't call it luck. I don't want to see y'all in my comments talking about, oh man, you was lucky you called it. No, just give me my props. Just like y'all gave me my props in the Spence fight. All right?